Hello, everybody out there in internet land. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another Tavern Talk. Hello, I'm behind the bar this time. As usual, I'm your host. I am DJ. And then the man across me and drinking them drinks is Mikey.
Good evening, internet. I don't even know what time of the day it is. I've had a few already.
As we should. But yes, so today on the docket for this Tavern Talk, one of the running things that we talk about in like amongst ourselves as NoSkill is how Mikey and I are the old heads of the group. Sprinkling a little bit of Amanda, whom you might or might not see during this recording. You never know. But we are the old people of NoSkill Entertainment, both of us being in our 30s. And I just wanted to talk about some of the things that we've seen throughout the years, because we constantly bring up stuff from the past that some people might or might not have heard of. Like I can almost guarantee right now, I could say the term Jinko jeans, and there's a couple of you that know what I'm talking about, but there's probably a lot more of you that have no clue what the hell that is. And so I just want to talk about some of the things that we've seen growing up. I want to make this a regular thing. Like, we're going to start off with like 90s going into early 2000s, and if this works out, we can steamroll and continue going on for like every 5 or 10 years. But to start, if we're gonna talk about 90s stuff, Mikey, what is your definition of a true 90s kid?
Oh, okay. So somewhere between Mortal Kombat Annihilation and Pokemon 2000. I'm kidding. I think anything pre 96 gets the title officially. 97's a little questionable because like at 96 you're still only 4 when this all comes to an end, so you didn't get the full culture, you didn't get the full experience like the rest of us did.
It, so I'd have to say for me, it would be the cutoff. I'd say is 90, between 95 and 96, because now
Mm-hmm.
uh people born before that, but the true 90 babies, like people born in 1990, I'll even give 1989, because at that point you were one, you're not remembering shit yet when you go into 90. But
Yeah.
that's when we started, like, making memories and remembering stuff. Like, I don't know my
Hmm.
birth, but all of a sudden, next thing I know, I just started remembering shit around the time I was 4, 5. But we've seen a lot of things in that era, especially in the 90s. So, like, one of the big things, actually, did this come out in the 90s? When?
You fact checking this early into the episode? He is old, he don't remember shit.
I'm trying to do, because all of a sudden, right there when I was about to say it, something screamed in my head, fucking Tamagotchi.
I do believe Tamagotchi was like late 90s.
Good. Okay, so I'm not wrong. Like, did you fuck with Tamagotchi back in the day?
I did not. I
Really?
absolutely did not. No, Tamagotchi was stupid in my opinion.
I'm
I'm a weeb. You got to remember that. I had the Mega Man PET actual launcher from that Battle Network TV series.
yeah.
So yeah, I didn't have a Tamagotchi. I had Mega Man, and you could hook him up and fight Proto Man and Guts Man and all the other PETs.
See, I had Tamagotchi growing up just because it was like that first. Shut up. Like that little bit of, like, you know what? Let's see how well I can raise this. Well, not real animal, but like raise this little like cartoon animal. Like, I had to feed it, put it to sleep, and nurture it, and all this other shit. And it took time. Granted, this is how I know I would make a horrible parent, because I killed about 36 of those motherfuckers.
I think everybody did because y'all were kids. I've never heard anybody be like, "Oh yeah, no, it was great. Tamagotchi was awesome." It was, oh man, I bodied like 28 of those fucking guys.
Because it required your like specific attention. Like, there's times where I would see kids like breaking out the Tamagotchi in the middle of class, because now it's time to feed this thing, and the teacher's just like, "That's a toy. I need to take it away from you." No, my son, he's gonna die. Don't take him from me. Do you know how
I
shattering emotionally that is to a kid, to hear that your technological son is gonna pass on while you're in detention?
that kid would have been bullied at my school without a doubt.
You heard it here first. I would be bullied at that man's school.
Yeah, no, that was not a thing. That was not something we did.
Ah, Now that I
We we did have to explain that Pokemon wasn't poker because there was some confusion with the R duties.
Oh boy, that that is a couple worms that opened up my
We're
life.
we're here. We're here for it, man.
Dude, I still remember that back when there was just the original 150, okay? Like just the original 150, keep shit simple. I was in second grade. I see this big circle of kids just form. And normally when that happens, you
Mhm.
think one thing. Fight.
Fight. Fight. Fight. Fight.
And I'm like every other kid. I'm trying to weasel my way through because I want to see these kids push each other and rub somebody's face in the dirt because that's all you did in second grade because you didn't know how to kick the shit out of somebody. But instead, it was these two kids. For all intents and purposes, we'll just call them Adam and Scott. They're standing in front of each other and they have these little blue cards. I don't know what this little blue card is, but maybe I'll find out. Turns out they were about to trade Pokemon cards. It was a holographic Charizard for an original first edition Pikachu.
Oh, oh my God! I
Yeah,
remember those days.
back when it was called holographic, not foil.
Yeah, whoever changed that really took something from the community, and I hope they burn for it. Sorry, that struck such a nerve as someone who's been into TCG for so many years.
Mm-hmm. That was honestly my first introduction because now I'm like asking my mom if I can get Pokemon cards. I'm not really looking for anything in particular because I'm like, what? Second grade, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just stoked that I can have this collection of cards that everybody's like just swooning over. We'll get into Yu-Gi-Oh later on, but still, Pokemon.
No, I get it. And like being a fan of the series, it was cool when you had like your foil Haunter or Gengar or something that was like really cool and really special in the show that like rarely showed up. Like that was a cool piece of like being a part of the culture for a kid.
Like when it comes to the original 150, the 150 that we grew up on, who was your favorite of the bunch?
Oh, man,
Don't say Charizard. Please don't.
No, not Charizard's for fucking tools. And you're gonna find out why, because it's a tie. It's a legit split. There are two top contenders for this spot.
All right.
And I gotta say, like the first that comes to mind is Blastoids. Because as much as I could say screen time or how cool it was, I've been a water Pokemon trainer my entire life. It is just so natural, and it all started with picking that Squirtle for the first time, and the epitome of that era. Getting a Blastoise that can Hydro Pump, Mega Punch, defend, and be able to do status attacks. But it was too powerful. It was too good. And if any tool was like, yeah, I'll take you with my Charizard, type advantage goes, brrr.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah. The Charizard was definitely a massive figure, and people loved him, but type advantage wins. Get fucked.
100%. But then, who was the other one?
Gengar. Gengar's always held a special place in my heart, like even to this day.
Gengar.
Not just because of the sick character design, but because of the fact that every time Gengar came in, it was cool storytelling. Whether it was the ghost Pokemon coming in to like hang out and like give Ash his life back when he fell to his death, because that was the thing in a kid's show.
Yep.
That was the thing, like that, and it was a really cool, different story that you would never see on anything else. And the next time when they come back in, and instead of fighting Sabrina, the psychic trainer, they teach her how to laugh again and be a person and like get out of her depression. And I'm like, what themes are we hitting in this fucking child show?
Dude, it's actually, first off, in hindsight, it's crazy how many times Ash either died or was close to death. Like he died in that episode. He almost froze to death on a couple of occasions. At one point, I think during the movie, he was putting basically.
He was petrified. Yeah, he was putting carbonite, which I mean, his heart stopped. That's dead.
But technically, he was there. He was on. He had the market.
Yeah.
And this is a kid show, dude. That's how you know the 90s were different. They were just like, yeah, we'll show a child dying. We don't fucking care.
They did ban the one episode where someone put a gun to his head.
I didn't know that was a thing, actually.
Oh, dude. So the speculation, I'm not going to go on a Pokemon tangent, but the speculation for the lore is that it's after the war, and it would make sense that people would be having surpluses of firearms. Because let's just use Charizard as a good example. There's a fire-breathing lizard that acts like a pissed-off teenager just roaming the skies. You bet your ass I want a gun to defend myself. So in one town where everybody's super American, everyone has a gun, and they cut that episode from the U.S. adaptations.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that sounds like it would be just, just a tad bit gnarly. Just a little bit.
I think it'd be awesome. I want that. I want more of that. And we did get more of that. Power World.
And Pokemon just sent them a fucking fuck you notice, too.
Yeah, but they removed the feature, and it's still a fun game where you have monsters and guns, and monsters with guns, and boss raids.
Like, I kind of want to hop on again just because I never really got into it as much as, like, the rest of y'all did when in the server, especially in Benny and Jose's server. Get on the fucking show.
Ham.
But going back when it comes to, like, Pokemon, especially the early 150, mine is also a break tie. I loved Snorlax. It's like, you know what?
Oh, base pick.
Like, he's
great screen time.
Like, he's multi-purpose. He's soothing. You could fall asleep on him, and he would not fucking care. But he's also gentle enough to make sure that you are not in danger. Like, he's not going to roll over and crush you.
Oh yeah, and when he needs to, it is fight on sight. He is not afraid to use these hands.
He
has
everyone.
Fighting moves. He shoots hyper beam out of his eyes. And he can sleep to restore health.
Dude, that I would love to be able to do it. Like, hold on 1 second. I'm my HP's low. All right.
That's me at cons.
That's what?
That's me at cons. It's like I've had a long day. Let me power nap for a minute. I'm gonna bounce back.
Grouping of chairs. I'll be good in 10. But
Pretty
then
much.
my other one. This is how I know I was gonna be into the weird and derp culture. I loved Psyduck because I loved how weird he was.
I wanna be mad at you, but Psyduck had good character, good screen time. It was a running gag, and when he nutted up to fight, Psyduck put in work.
Like when it was time to whoop ass, Psyduck knew what needed to be done.
He sent Team Rocket into the stratosphere multiple times and did not give a fuck a single one of them.
That fucking... I was about to say duo, but I forgot Meowth. But
yeah, trio.
Just... Listen, maybe it's the common knowledge in me, but it's like, dude, after I'd say 4th or 5th time you've been sent to space, stop. Just fucking stop. Pick a new career path.
We can't end on a loss. We can't end the night on a loss. It's that mentality.
Dude, we're unpacking all this again from like a 90s show. We're already unpacking all of this shit, and we haven't even touched upon like say DBZ yet. Because that's been around since the 80s. Like it started with Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball came out in the 80s. I don't know when Dragon Ball Z got started.
No, I think yeah, Z was 90s for sure. I remember that because I was from the generation of the Z boom. And I remember staying up stupid late at night when Toonami first started to catch like one episode of DBZ at fucking 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my god, that was the show that I would catch before mom got home from work. Like that's when I finished my homework really quickly, put on the counter so mom can check it. 9 times out of 10, I got all the answers wrong, just so that way I can say it's done. Watch the turn on the TV, watch the show, and then the kicker. This is one thing that I hated. I thought it was like mom voodoo magic. She always knew the TV was on, even though I had it off, by touching it.
Yeah, it leaves static on the film, the glass, dude.
Yeah, 6-year-old me didn't know that. I thought my mom was a magician.
Yeah, I was like, I definitely having an attention disorder, and I touched everything. So I figured that out when it shocked me like 4 times, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I turned it off and it stopped.
Like fucking hell, I thought I had a magic mom. I can't get away with shit anymore. And then to boot, I also got all the questions wrong, so I have to sit down and redo the homework. By the way, one of the classic '90s lines when it comes to school. Do you remember the line that your teachers would always say? Uh, you won't always have a calculator with you.
Oh my god, I'm changing my music because there's fight music, and that made me want to fight even harder. That stupid, ignorant son of a bitch. They had no idea. They couldn't comprehend that we'd have a supercomputer, a beyond a supercomputer of their era, on our hips at all times.
Like now, it's just like I have this supercomputer where I can have access to the internet and all of its knowledge, like at my fingertips. And here I am listening to Vocaloid and Nightcore covers of various songs because that's what I do with it.
Oh, dude, I'm listening to Shinsuke Nakamura's theme right now.
Ooh, that's another crazy thing that from the fucking '90s was like the Attitude Era of the WWE.
Oh my god, are we okay? So are we going to WWE? Because that's a rabbit hole.
We can go to
And we
WWE
might have-
we can go to WWE because I know I'm sorry this episode is absolutely everywhere, but like I'm trying to cover as much of the '90s as possible because
Well, that's the
was
thing. We
so
might
much
have
that
the
went-
expert coming in later.
That and dude, I know he'll have his 2, 3, 5, 10
Yeah.
cents.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you want to come back to it?
Sure, we'll come back to it. So, sticking to the theme of the '90s, let's talk about some of the shit that we fucked around with. Earlier, I mentioned Tamagotchi. What are some like some of the childhood? What's the term? Your childhood recreation. What did you fuck around with? Were you just one of those grab a pail and dig a hole?
I still do that. I still have that horrible compulsion to dig and build things in the wilderness, and I think that's caveman DNA that's just rolling around in the old noodle, not sure what to do with it anymore. Oh, see, he's here.
Da-dum.
Hello,
See,
sir.
we were just talking about you seconds ago. You are live, so be careful.
What is it? Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
Well,
Yeah.
Because now that you're here, we can revert back. We were just about to start talking about the '90s of WWE, the Attitude Era, and that's when Mikey said we should hold off until you get home.
I'm here. What are we talking about?
Well, we'll circle back and talk and now touch upon WWE now that you have arrived. So, what are some of your? This is so janky. Who did you look up to in that Attitude Era of the WWE? Because currently, Mikey was listening to Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song, and that's what made me think.
Still am. I'm doing the violin. Don't sing it.
Okay.
Don't sing
it. No. Okay. Who did I guess it depends. Like when I was a kid.
Here, give me your big three.
Okay. When I was a kid, and this is like 5 and 6 years old.
Mhm.
Definitely back then, my number one, Stone Cold Steve Austin, hands down, without a doubt. Followed by The Rock, and then
It's a long pot.
and then my third one would be Kane.
Ooh, okay.
But now, as an adult with more educated and refined taste, my number one would still probably be Stone Cold. He was just a legend during that era.
He is, of course.
A tag team for number two, the Dudley Boys. Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then Kane's still at number three, honestly.
All right. So then you.
So really, just growing up, I just kicked the Rock out of his spot and put the Dudley Boys there.
You fucking
The
shit.
final
Fuck outta
boss.
here. I put him through a table and put those guys there. You know.
So then you across the street. Who were your big three that you looked up to in when it comes to the '90s era, Attitude Era?
Oh man, I was thinking about this the other day because I was listening to 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway, and I don't want to play favorites, and I don't want to just be, oh yeah, he's the Attitude Era kid, but man, the Mount Rushmore or the top three for me right now is definitely got to be Rob Van Dam. I think he's one of the greatest to ever do it. The guy had charisma on the meat.
Mm-hmm.
He had. What's up?
To say, do your thing. Go.
He's got charisma on the mic. it's naturally he's a very interesting character. He knows how to relate to people and like get that story across. And in the ring, to this day, I don't know of anybody who can quite match his energy and his all-around package that you get when he performs.
Also, this much, he also brought a very different way to fight in the WWE. Like, he's not a traditional wrestler; he's a martial artist, like an actual martial artist.
And that's the thing, he doesn't just do traditional martial arts. He does a lot of hybrid work, integrating the high acrobatics plus the WWE style or ECW or WCW, whatever brand he was at the time, because it seemed like he was everywhere. He brought styles and just blended it together in a really unique way.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it was at WCW.
And then your number 2, then?
Probably not. It's got to be Eddie Guerrero. One of my all-time favorite performers. The guy had tragically one of the shortest and most acclaimed runs of all time. If he had had more time with us and been able to perform longer, there's not a doubt in my mind so much of that company would be based off of his work. And love him or hate him, the whole angle with like Rhea and Dominic taking after their predecessors and doing the whole new generation of it is taking the world by storm right now.
Oh yeah.
It works. It's a true working formula, and fuck, man, rest in peace to Eddie, dude. That guy was just bigger than we could have comprehended at the time.
Dude, he's still people can still credit him to being the biggest name now because everybody he's still widely talked about.
People still on like every couple of WrestleManias or so, you'll get somebody doing a tribute to him and coming out in his song.
Like
right.
Sasha Banks.
That one with Ray and fucking Snoop Dogg was amazing.
That was the last one to do it, and that was pretty fucking legit. But yeah, you get a lot of tributes from other wrestlers to Eddie Guerrero still to this day, whether it be in-ring performance, the way they promo, or they use his intro. They come out in the lowrider, you know. So yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Eddie. Hopefully you're resting well. All right, and then your last one for your big 3.
No, man, dude, and this is where it gets really hard because there's so many people. But I mean, Undertaker, the man did everything. He was supernatural. He was the American badass. He was just a bad motherfucker at times, and got in the ring with horrible injuries and powered through it. Was able to tell some of the greatest stories in the industry history. Mm-hmm. And to this day, just shows up to offer guidance and advice and coaching to these new talents he doesn't know shit to. He can just tell these kids, I laid the groundwork, figure it out, but he doesn't. He comes back for the pure love of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody know what year The Undertaker retired?
Fuck, 2022, right?
I was about to say it has to be recently within the last 5 years.
Like official retirement.
That part I can't tell you.
Oh, when he came, was that when he came back for Cody and The Rock? So or are you talking about the Boneyard match?
Well, I'm just like on the whole, he just like makes appearances still. Like he officially retired from in-ring performance in November 22nd of 2020. Horrible year, but
that's why it was the year.
But the fact that this guy still makes an in-ring like performance, like when Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania took the title from Roman finally, he still showed up and gave a small bit of a performance. And like if you see in interviews, Cody Rhodes talks about like him and the Undertaker just had like an eye-to-eye moment really quick before the lights went down. He's like, and Cody Rhodes is like, I swear the man's a fucking magician.
He just disappeared.
Yeah.
He is him.
And welcome, Frazier. Just so you know, you are being recorded.
All right.
But so Frazier, how old are you?
Older than
I am the same age as I am. A little bit old. I'm like 2 months older than Mikey.
Okay, so
you figure that out.
This conversation too.
All the 90s kids are here. We have arrived.
We are empowered.
He's here.
Council has formed.
The council of the 90s kids.
So, like, you guys basically took a couple of my 3 that I had picked, but
you can have overlap.
There were so many that you could look up to. Like, honestly, one of the ones I did look up to quite literally was the Big Show, because I felt I related to him. I as a person that's tall, I know you can't tell right. I know you can't tell right now, but I am a large individual IRL, and I'm like, you know what, that guy, I relate with that guy. I'm bigger than everybody I know too. This is crazy. I'm like 10 years old. I'm almost as tall as my mom.
And it's crazy. He really did and he was public about a lot of the challenges of being a larger individual in a world that just wasn't catered to it. Whether it was when he had to get cut out of a bathroom, or when he had
in
issues
Japan
traveling. Yeah. Or when he had issues traveling where he had to he couldn't sleep in a chair. He had to bring air mattresses to travel on planes. He was very candid. I could see how that would relate to people who would, have that in common with him.
Yeah, I remember I was watching this interview of he said he felt uncomfortable in movie theaters because people behind him couldn't see, and he felt bad having to sit all the way in the back, and he takes up 2 seats. This was when I think this was his introduction when he said he met Joe Manganiello and he became a part of his D&D.
Yeah. He became the D&D. He plays a half giant in D&D, a psionic half giant sorcerer. Let's go.
That's a wild thing to do.
I would not want to PvP the Big Show. He seems like a fucking metagamer with that setup.
Hondo.
Or not metagamer, power gamer.
I feel like even if I beat him, he's just gonna grab me from across the table at that point.
I beat you on the board, but you're gonna beat me in real life. Oh god.
That big ass paw can knock over everything on the table.
Oh, dude, you've seen it where he put it on Rey Mysterio's head, when they were wrestling before.
He just
it engulfed Rey's head completely.
Then I think for my number 2 spot, funny enough, you mentioned Rey. I loved Rey Mysterio because I dug the mask, but I love the whole I'm a small guy, but I'm not afraid to kick your ass.
Oh yeah, dude, he had that fire.
Mm-hmm.
His desire.
So, are you guys doing the Mount Rushmore of wrestling for you guys?
Top 3.
We're just talking about 90s shit, but then we knew wrestling was going to be a rabbit hole because the Attitude Era was crazy. But then my number 3 spot, it's such a fucking tie between Booker T and Edge, to be honest.
5-time.
Yeah, I can't even get mad at you because those are 2 very solid picks. Booker T has wild storytelling, some impressive reigns, and the ability to get out and tell a good story. Edge has an intensity I don't know if any other wrestlers ever really got to the same level of.
Even he literally had that edge.
Brings the heat. Yeah,
he has that edge.
He was
that no one else
rated
has.
R superstar.
Fun fact about Edge, him and Christian are now beefing on AEW.
Wow, they were the tag team back in the day.
Grandma told me about that.
Still remember that fucking...
I think it's funny they went from being one of the best tag teams ever to splitting up and doing good singles work. I mean, fuck.
Because I still remember, one of my fondest memories when it comes to WWE. I don't know if it was still 90s or if it was just breaking into early 2000s, but that tag match, that ladder match they had against the fucking Hardys.
Oh, the Hardys.
I think that was a triple threat tag match with the Dudleys included and at WrestleMania.
And when you have those 6 individuals in a ring and they're all about putting on a show, it's we will get physically hurt. But they are going to
it's in a candy store.
This is going to be a 5-star event right here.
Oh yeah, especially with the forever. Everyone remembers the spear off the fucking ladder.
Bro.
That
even they were just we're not sure we can do this.
I swear, if you watch that, Edge flops like a fucking fish, bro. The moment he hits back, he goes back up and then goes back down.
Probably he was like, I can't believe that worked. Oh crap!
Dude, it was watching
that just happened.
Dude, I was watching that movie
in that
moment. I was like, I look at my mom like, I want to do that for a living. My mom just goes, absolutely fucking not. Hell no.
Do it, brother.
But now, since you're here, Frage, give us your 3.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Here's number 1
from the Attitude Era specifically.
Attitude Era specifically.
He was there.
He was about to say Roman Reigns.
But remember, my parents didn't like me watching anything that they didn't approve of, so mine's a little. What I caught it was the tail end of it.
So we're starting with strong at Undertaker number 1. Let's go.
Yeah, well, because first off, the first feud, the first storyline I saw the feud was the Undertaker versus Batista for the title at WrestleMania after Undertaker won the Royal Rumble. Like that was like the first real storyline I saw. So that's what pulled me into it.
Okay.
Good one to come into.
Yeah, because Undertaker just the way he was just like that. Like you had Batista who was good on a mic, but kind of iffy with the crowd. And then you had Undertaker just that presence, the aura, just to just walk in and everybody's gonna get their ass handed to him.
Trust me, some of these guys, as soon as they walked into the ring, they just commanded and demanded respect.
I was gonna say, can I put two people for the number 2? Because these two, when they met in the ring, it was just amazing to watch.
Only if they're duo.
Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
You just listed half our list, Team NoSkill, getting it, cultured.
I'm sorry, but they just Eddie had that ability to just tell a story in the middle of the ring in a match too. Like the way he understood how to work the crowd was next level. And like you said, Ray being able to do that, like a small guy, but doing these high flying moves and all these crazy things, it's just so fluidly well done. It's just I couldn't split between the two. And then the third would be Triple H, just simply for the fact that when he was during that time, the DX and all the tank and all that stuff, and him leading the him and Sean leading the charge, it would be those two kind of
Two words for you.
Yeah, very much so.
Your mother.
Nobody said it. All right.
I know sucking, but still.
I was waiting for you to do it.
No, I was opening it up for others. You know what? We'll
We
come
suck
back
at
full
this.
circle to this.
I'll give you this much. I won't say I'm the biggest fan of Triple H, but I also know the man has laid down, made the blueprint for a lot of matches. And he personally, now that he's running the company,
Dude,
he's very, very passionate about WWE, and he has been for years.
He was been ever since he started, dude. Like the moment he got into the industry, he's like, I'm gonna run it.
I'm gonna do the damn thing.
I have a question for everybody real quick. Does anybody know who the ringmaster was?
That sounds familiar,
so
but
familiar,
no. Yeah.
Okay.
Why am I imagining the guy with the freaking like a stovetop hat almost?
I'm picturing the guy that had the megaphone, Jimmy Hart.
That was Jimmy Hart.
No, that was Jimmy Hart.
The ringmaster was Triple H's persona before he went pro. That was Indie League Triple H. He dressed like the ringmaster in a circus and used to come out with a whip and shit.
Okay, so it makes sense that I had the hat thing in my head. But I just didn't know that was Triple H.
Like it was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and he came out to some British ass theme song in a suit and tie and shit.
Yup.
Jesus Christ, bro.
That's like seeing somebody's fucking T-ball picture.
Seeing that middle school picture before puberty.
I'm sorry, but 1993 Triple H is disgusting.
It's actually crazy. Some of the personas that some of these wrestlers had before they became the icons they were, they're absolutely ridiculous.
Mean Mark Callis.
Yeah, Stone Cold had a full head of hair and he was part of the Hollywood Blondes.
Dude, Kane was a dentist. He was an evil dentist. That was his shtick.
I mean,
I remember that one,
bro.
Yeah, that was his whole thing. I'm gonna take care of your teeth or I'm gonna knock them out.
So stupid.
Yeah, dude. You gotta throw shit at the wall to see what sticks. There's gonna be a lot of shit.
We're gonna cut real quick. We need to definitely take a break right now, but we will be right back after we hear a message from our partner, Debbie. Hey guys, it's me, DJ. Real quick before you go anywhere, I just wanted to remind you guys about NoSkill Entertainment's still ongoing partnership with Dubby. Yes, they're still hanging out with us over a year later. And trust me, they have an array of delicious flavors, such as Dragonade, Dub Sludge, and Galaxy Grenade. And hey, maybe caffeine isn't your thing. They have zero caffeine hydration formulas, such as Water Melanda, and Pineberry Splash. And if any of these flavors piqued your interest, please use code NSE for 10% off your total order at checkout. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys later. And we're back. We have returned. Thank you for listening to that pretty little ad read, and thank you to W for hanging out with us after all this time. And also, just a quick shout out to our newest partner, Red Dragon. Welcome aboard. Thank you for having us. I love your stuff. I personally use it all the time. But so we're gonna wrap up with WWE because we've been harping on it for a little while because I want to move on to other aspects of the 90s. But while we're on break. Good.
Kind of the best part.
A good honorable mention that one of the guys mentioned that now sticks out to me is fucking John Cena's Dr. Thugonomics. He can actually rap, and he put out.
He can actually.
He can.
Dude, his album was good. I don't care what anybody says.
Did you hear that his freestyle actually saved his career?
Yeah.
Can we not shout out JBL and Ron Simmons?
No, I can't shout out that era of JBL because he told me he would be waiting for me at the border. He said, John Bradshaw he's going to be waiting for you.
Tell your friends, too.
Yeah, the APA was wild.
I still think it's the 90s where no one has cameras.
Oh, I was fishing for it, and I got it.
Left brain and right brain reporting for duty.
Before we move on, speaking of 90s, bring back the bra and panties match. Don't be fucking pansies. That's all.
Don't be coward.
Do it, you won't.
This cowardice shit.
I'm sorry, hold up. If we're gonna go to the women's wrestling, has anyone noticed like the recent wrestling? It just feels like they're slow and like out of sync with everybody. Like they're out of sync with each other.
I'm not.
Like sometimes.
Well, no. Like when they're wrestling, like the move sequences, I feel like they're stopping and waiting and then going. Whereas like the Attitude Era and even the Aggression Era and the PG Era, it felt fluid. It felt like they were moving all at once. It was just go.
Safety now. It's a different game entirely. There was no safety back in the day.
Yeah, this isn't the era when Sabu
I guess it just bugs me a little bit.
And tacks to stomp on somebody.
Yeah.
Well, even in the PG era, it was still felt smoother. I guess would be the right way to say it. It felt like they're trying too hard to like.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of injuries in the PG era. Did you see Cody Rhodes' fucking chest?
Yeah.
What happened to Nitro Eminem when he took a ladder to the nostrils and he broke his fucking nose right then and there?
So 90s, guys.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're gonna wrap up on this now. And then before you guys join, I was gonna talk about some of the stuff that we fucked around with in the 90s. Earlier, I brought up Tamagotchi. First off, did you guys fuck with Tamagotchi, or am I the only one?
I played with a stick.
Okay, moving on.
They're from my school. I told you, you get bullied if you have Tamagotchis at my school. They were both there.
So,
yeah,
I'm definitely.
They knew the rules. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a fact.
No, we didn't make the rules. Those were just the rules.
Yeah, we didn't make the rules. We just enforced them.
Look, man, I just live here.
You see somebody holding the Tamagotchi, you have just been chosen.
Oh, looks like
no. What I had was the
today, guys.
Get him!
He's got a Tamagotchi. Kick his ass. But no, so what were
the only thing I ever had that was similar to that was a those little like Pokemon walk things that they had, like when they did like the Soul Silver thing.
Yeah.
But anything of that, I never had anything like that.
So then what were some of the shit that you guys
had
like played with growing up?
Digivice that would do that for me, all right? Like, as long as it wasn't a fucking Tamagotchi, you were safe.
So then what were some of the shit that you guys fucked around with back in the day? Because I personally was a dollar store pail and shovel, and I'm just gonna go out front and dig holes until the streetlights come on.
I had a shit ton of Hot Wheels and sets and like the tracks and all that. I had the Meteor one, that old Meteor one. I had that where when it got to a certain point, the car would hit a switch and the mirror would explode outwards.
I remember the Hot Wheels tracks, but I don't remember that one. That sounds fucking.
Yeah,
tight.
I had a lot of them.
I do, but I was there. I feel like that's cheating.
I feel like you would still probably have Hot Wheels tracks now because you are a residential car guy.
I don't have tracks, but I do have some very, very rare Hot Wheels. I actually, if anybody sees this around the release time, you might still be in luck. Dollar Tree has 50th anniversary Hot Wheels for $1.25 a piece. You can get the entire set. The hardest one to get is the transporter, which they have sometimes. It's reselling for $30. So words out. Go get yourself a cool Hot Wheel.
Hell
That's
yeah.
true. But yeah, no, that was what I really that's what I really played with a lot as a kid. With the restrictions my parents put for stupid reasons, kind of had to do that. That's all I really got. But I had a lot of fun with them too, because I made some crazy ass tracks that I'm like, there's no way this should work.
See, I had restrictions.
Well, yeah, we started building them across the fucking street at one point in time. Like, these things were like 40 feet long.
Yeah, there were people like honking at us, like trying to get to their houses, and they couldn't because we had them running.
Go around.
Yeah, hey, it's not a cul-de-sac. You can go to the next street over and go around.
Like, wait 2 minutes, Linda, you fucking bitch.
Oh no, it would have taken us like an hour and a half to get that stuff out of the way. But yeah, we got pretty wild, and I had like a whole like like a sports chest full of just tracks and all the stuff for it. You know what? I'm gonna go check my parents' house, and I think it's still there.
Because I like go out Fraser. I know
If that happens, I'm gonna try to grab some and just set up a little Lego track, a little not Lego, Hot Wheels track in here. Legos was the
That's
other
our
thing.
next video, us building a Hot Wheels track and running it.
Grown men reliving their childhood.
I'm down. Like,
I'm 100%. If my parents still have it, I'm 100% to do it. I don't think they will be in great condition though.
See, 'cause I like
been outside
using them.
Like, I had restrictions growing up on shit that I could play with because my mom was also a very strict parent until my younger brother was born. Because now you have two rowdy ass kids, and we were raised by a single mom, and so now it's just like, okay, y'all need to take care of each other. So that's when she buys this like sock 'em boppers, and so we can kick the shit out of each other. And that was a bad combination. Two boys who were hooked to WWE, and now they have access to punch each other with inflatable mitts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, those. Oh yeah, those. We had a lot of dumb stuff that like nowadays no one would ever let their child have.
Well, yeah, I mean,
except for us, we'd be like, if we had kids, we'd be like, oh yeah, go ahead, learn. You'll learn.
I'll say this:
you'll learn.
The sock and boppers walked. The sock and boppers walked so the Hulk hands can run, because that's basically what the Hulk hands were.
Oh yeah,
then you got the Hulk fist a little later.
Like, dude, I'm gonna kick the shit out of somebody, and I get to pretend that I'm Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
masturbating with the Hulk hands.
Masturbating.
I can't believe they put that in Deadpool. That's such a good joke.
It
is. You get some Hulk mitts and you just go to town on it. Like, really get in there.
Oh shit.
Oh,
sorry.
But that was from a movie. You can't even be like, oh, I can't believe he said that. Yeah, it's from a movie.
Yeah, that was, you were quoting a movie.
But then, Thompson, what's some of the shit that you fucked around with back in the day? Were you just a stick and hit it against shit?
No, I had all the video game stuff back in the day, the OG Game Boys and all that. What else? I had a 2-story fort in the backyard and a hot tub, so I actually spent a lot more time outdoors as a kid. Surprisingly,
2-story fort.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a wooden fort.
Did you build
2-story. What the fuck? I was a kid, you numbskull.
I know. I'm just asking.
What in the
I
hell?
mean, the kids in Little Rascals
You
claimed to have built that clubhouse.
Looks sick.
Okay, so.
But I don't know. I can't remember. I had a bunch of Godzilla figures and hella Spawn figures back in the day.
You were already collecting shit at that young fucking age?
Yeah, specifically Spawn and Godzilla. Anything I found of them anywhere, I wanted it.
Oh, that's true. I did get a lot of Justice League figures. Remember those like big tall ones, like Superman, Batman, like the ones that were like 4 or 5. Like I would say like what they were about a foot tall.
The base series was 10, but yeah, the premium ones were a foot tall and they had like accessories and shit with them.
Oh, then I got the base ones, but yeah, those I remember playing with those. Those were a lot of fun. I think I still have the Superman and Batman somewhere at my parents' house again. I still stored a bunch of shit that I need to get out of there.
No, but so you mentioned You mentioned the original Game Boy. That fat fucking brick.
Hell yeah. I had that shit with the full fucking extra. I can't remember what the fuck it was called off the top of my head. Other brain,
The
figure
cell.
it out. Fucking.
All the
It was
attachments for the
pretty
lights
much
and
all the time. Literally, like it would slide into the slide, would have extra fucking analog stick and bigger buttons that pressed onto the buttons. Had a magnifying glass that came over the screen and had a light that came over it so you could play in the dark.
oh,
'Cause
I
you
know
didn't
I know
have,
what
like,
the accessory
the
you're talking
OG Game
about.
Boy.
Oh my god, yeah, there was no backing lights and LEDs weren't a thing yet.
Until the
Fuck.
SP. Until the SP.
Oh, so
Did
I
The
anyone
had
ever
second
have
gen
a
of
dying
SP
one of
because I
those
had the
Game
first
Boys?
gen and it didn't.
A
I still have
what?
both of them.
One of those where the screen was like dying, so you had to hold it at an angle to see it to play it.
Wasn't that just the regular Game Boy Advance?
Bro.
No, like after a while they would get worse.
Oh shit.
Like
Yeah.
shit just fucking breaks, bro.
Well, it was in the hands of an 8-year-old most of its life.
That's true. No, I had
Battery
the.
powered.
Oh yeah, no, I still have two of them like right next to me.
God, and now we have, and it's still so surreal to think. Like, you had your Game Boy for one thing, you have a Walkman to do something else, and then you had another communication device, a landline. If you know, you know. To do that, and now it's just so crazy to think you can do literally all of that on one
I'll
fucking
throw a
device.
really back on the landline shit. My like we used to go.
No,
up
don't
to the
don't answer that phone. I'm on
Tavern
I'm on mine.
Oh, dial up.
Oh,
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's this idiot yelling about?
dial up. Yeah, the
We
dial
had
noises in your
fucking-
brain.
We had a house up in a different area that had a fucking rotary phone.
Wow.
I think I know
Rolodex
the
right
house.
next to it.
You know where you guys these two have been. I'm not gonna say where it is. Or
I know where
anything,
you've
but
been.
Yeah, these two have been
You-
there. We had a fucking rotary phone connected to the landline in that bitch.
Dude, rotary phone and
It
Rolodex.
was
I can
epic.
guarantee nobody, unless you're in your 30s, will know what the fuck a rotary and a Rolodex is.
Oh, I'm well aware. I made a joke the other day that said I said my spell book looked like a Rolodex, and man, that was hit with by crickets. And nobody laughed at that one. I'm like, oh.
Oh my god. And especially with the landline. I don't know who else's mother does this, but my mom is a fucking walker when she's on the phone. And she
Oh my
would just
God.
answer the phone. It could be whoever. It could be my aunt. It could be a telemarketer. She's just going to walk in a fucking circle. And walk in a fucking circle. That cord, luckily it was 2,000 yards long. It's starting to get, thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. And then when she gets to the end, she either does one or two things, depending on who she's talking to. Oh, okay, I'm at the end of the line. This is where I need to hang up. Or she starts walking back and unraveling it while still talking. Yep. Like, I hate talking on the phone personally. I don't know how my mom does it, where she's just like, yep, I'm going to talk to this person for 3.5 hours. And I'll know it's time to stop when I'm out of wiggle room, if you will.
I think that was a generational thing. Like, that was their cool social media that they had in their time. Because it seems
That's
like
the only social media they had.
Yeah, it seems
spread
like
information from person to person.
When you had to interact
put
with
it
it
in
in
Old
units.
days.
You had
You
to
had to
put it on a
walk
letter
5
in a
miles
mailbox.
uphill in the snow.
Oh my god, that curse boomer. I had to walk to school uphill and home uphill. Jesus Christ.
Where did you live? The bottom of the ocean?
I think my favorite was uphill in the snow barefoot, and his kid responded with, "Where is there snow in Mexico?" And the fucking room fell apart laughing. I fucking couldn't
Like a
breathe.
little
when
kid,
I
like
heard
it,
that
like
one.
was this like a young kid, like a little kid?
Probably like 10, 11 at the time.
Okay,
When
yeah,
he's
no, they're still like that young, innocent, no filter, where they're just like, "Where's there snow?"
It
Oh.
wasn't innocent. This was my crazy ass cousin. You guys know
Oh.
the one. We're not gonna say his name on the podcast because
No,
deal
no.
with those implications.
God, it was just,
No, that's fair.
It's just such a different fucking time, especially where we grew up. There was no crying because you got hurt. There was rub some dirt on it and get the fuck up.
Oh,
yeah.
drinking from garden hoses and shit.
Drink
You
from-
just let it run just long enough to get the hot water out of the hose.
Like, we used to drink from the garden hose. Now I know people that are just like, I don't even drink out of the faucet because I don't know where that water's been. In your faucet. That's where it's been.
Yeah, that or
Yeah, dude,
that's not as healthy as this bottled water shit. It's like,
Is this non-GMO water? Shut the fuck up.
no? Is this
Is that
gluten-free
gonna be,
water?
like a new way to torture people that were born after 2000 or like younger? We just start sticking hoses in their mouth and making them drink water.
That's called waterboarding. That's illegal.
No,
time.
waterboarding has extra steps. All right,
We're cutting out the middleman. We're just going straight to the water.
Yeah,
Just drink the
we're going straight to
motherfucker.
Instagram.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh, thank you guys. I needed this after today.
Right, I will say this
So
much.
the-
I do firmly believe, like, if you were to take like one of the kids from nowadays, what are we at? Gen A, or are we still in Gen Z?
Whatever you
No.
want to call it.
I stopped caring after 2000.
I call it Gen disappointment because they are just disappointing.
Like,
I call it generational trauma.
Like, I don't want to sound like I'm
Generation
harping,
dumb
but
as
holy
fuck.
shit. Like, I don't want to
No.
sound like harping, but holy shit, I can honestly say full-heartedly, some of these new age kids would not survive what we did growing up.
They wouldn't survive if
Oh,
we
yeah.
took off all the
Dog,
safety
I'm
measures
amazed
they put
I
in.
survived what we did growing up. That shit was wild back in the day.
Dude, back in the day, babysitting was be where I can see you and be inside when the streetlights come on. Because if the streetlights are on and you're not in this house, I'm locking the door and you got to fend for yourself.
It's interesting
Yeah.
to think that it's like considered wild now, but like back then, it's just like that was just normal shit, bro.
Oh yeah.
That was commonplace.
And if you want to even go further back, look at like what was it, the 70s, 80s before us? Like they even had more
Oh.
wild shit than we did.
Metal everything, radioactive children's toys, a DIY
Hell yeah.
steam
Literally
engine
smoking-
child's toy.
Yeah, they literally set up houses to have smoke pits like inside the house at certain points.
Dog,
Like,
I want one of those. The 70s
don't
social
get me wrong, they
pits.
look so cool. Oh yeah, they look so cool, but it's like that you have kids in here
Dude,
and shit like that.
Back in the day, they were
let
just
them
like,
learn the
all right.
hard way. Don't
Yeah,
touch.
they didn't care.
If it's hot, don't touch.
They're like, here's your
Yeah.
mullet, here's your
Oh, yeah,
Iron
that's how
Maiden
you learned.
t-shirt, here's a pocket knife, go survive for the weekend. Don't be here.
Yeah. You
Dog,
you eat
I-
what you kill,
I
or
remember-
you kill what you eat.
I remember babysitting as like a young teenager and left alone in a house where the only heating was a wood oven.
Yep.
Like they just
Oh,
trusted me not to burn the place down. And they're like, all right, we'll be back in 2 days. And I'm like, okay, I got this.
Whatever,
Chief.
I guess. It's still so wild to think, because we should be wrapping up here soon, but it's just so crazy to think how much time has actually passed. Because like I do firmly believe that life is short, and so you should like experience it and embrace it as much as you can until you can't anymore.
Mhm.
But it's still crazy to think like how much time has changed in this short amount of time. From
Oh yeah.
taking shinners from razor scooters
Wow.
to now kids are complaining when they get rug burn.
Bite me, nerds.
I saw a video of kids who would go lay on the bathroom floor so they could nap during class. And I'm like, what kind of soft savagery is this? This is
What
depressing.
wait a minute, that's
wait.
disgusting.
Can
They
you
went to the
repeat that sentence?
yeah that
Yeah.
I'm
Kids are sneaking out of class these days to go sleep on the bathroom floor because they're overwhelmed. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
sitting there like we just
Walking
fell
for
asleep in class.
fitness nonsense is this?
What kind of walking for fitness?
Are they like
Bro,
taking
I
like
blocked
naps
that
with them?
class out of my memory. That's so funny.
Oh,
I know.
Oh my god.
that shit pisses me off because if they're laying down in the bathroom floor, that shit's disgusting. That
Oh,
yeah.
no,
That gets
no.
cleaned
And
once a
people
day by a
wonder-
dirty ass mop that hasn't been
Yeah.
replaced in over 30 freaking years.
I'm not even
So-
worried about the mop. It's what those kids like. They're
Yeah.
Those kids ain't landed every shot.
Yeah.
Dude, growing up,
Oh, especially nowadays too. You know half those kids aren't vaccinated.
I know we were trying to wind down. I'm sorry to drop that bomb
I
on
know,
the,
you're-
on
no,
the
you're-
conversation.
Oh!
I know you're good because it's valid. 'Cause I still remember like being in class where like, oh teacher, can I go to the nurse? My stomach hurts. Have you pooped yourself? No. Have you vomited? No. Sit the fuck down and finish your fucking test.
Shut the fuck up and finish your goddamn work. Okay.
Like,
Thanks.
I still remember I was in 3rd grade. I remember this like it happened yesterday. I was sick. And I felt dizzy. I asked my teacher, we'll just call him Mr. C. It's like, Mr. C, can I go to the nurse? Tum not feel good. He goes, well, I don't see any visible signs you don't look injured, so keep working. Like 2 minutes later, I projectile vomited all over the desk, the floor, the girl in front of me. And I was just like, can I go to the nurse now? And he goes, you should feel better. You got it out. Keep working.
Fuck.
Dude,
I
okay,
wanna
that's
say
some
that's
boomer
ridiculous.
shit right there. That is a boomer mentality right there.
I was just like, okay, I guess I'm going to work. My mom comes and picks me up.
Literally,
And she was just like,
anytime a family member hit me, no blood, no foul.
exactly.
Fucker. So you can break a bone as long as there's no blood. It's all good.
Your arm's still there.
Yeah.
It'll still work.
Walk it off.
Yep.
Walk it off was the phrase.
Oh my god.
God, I know
Walk it
we
off
went
a
on a
minute,
tangent about
oh,
WWE for like
give
20
a
minutes. So
shit.
this is the root of the 90s stuff that I was talking about, like how we grew up. Like we had, like not compared to like other like decades, but for us 90s kids, this was hard knocks. In before the tree
We
lights come
had
Well, hold up.
So-
Hold on. 90s, we had so much change too. Like technology advanced like 20 years in the future in the span of like 5 years.
on. Oh yeah. I remember
So we had so much shit going on. So
we had like the peak of outdoor games and activities, with also the beginning of really the beginning of gaming technology hitting good at home.
The
Yeah.
golden era of home consoles, if you will.
Yeah,
before the
so
dark
we had, like,
times.
So it's like, all right, go out. Like even if you got trouble, it's like you're grounded, you can't play video games. Go outside and play. All right, cool.
All right, you fucking bet.
All right, that's fine by me.
But what do you
All
also
right.
before I do the outro, when you said like we were the era of like outdoor festivities and activities, that immediately shot me to the fucking slide at the park that was made of sheet metal that was sitting in the sun all day.
Oh,
Oh man,
you get
that
you
one
get
and the
yeah.
concrete one. Oh my
Oh.
god.
Poor unfortunate souls that chose to go down those in not wearing jeans or long
Jeans
sleeve
or
pants.
putting something.
Right.
Yeah. I knew some people would bring their
I would use
jackets
a
with them,
towel.
just use them as like little like covers for
Well,
their
the-
legs.
The concrete one needed cardboard. Anything else
Yeah.
would get destroyed.
Or the twisty one that was like half static electricity and half material.
Oh my god, I hate that one.
Oh,
That one still pisses me
oh,
off.
That still exists to this day.
yeah.
It's so annoying.
Because the funny is that it still exists with how safety conscious everybody is. It's one of the worst things you could put your child into.
Dude, that sheet
It's
metal
not
one-
sharp though.
It's not.
nice
Yeah,
and
that's
round.
true.
But the sheet metal one that would send you a Mach 1 and leave, your molten flesh behind. You could cook food on that damn thing. Like I'm pretty sure
Oh,
I watched
yeah.
one of my buddies cook bagel bites on it.
You could slap some pancake batter on that shit and watch it cook.
So I don't know if you guys have seen the viral video. There's one of those out in I believe Sweden, and it's like huge. It's 30 feet long. A cop goes down it, and his weight is way higher than what it's rated for. He enters the bottom or exits the bottom of that thing at Mach fuck and just skips across the concrete. Gun goes flying, handcuffs go flying.
Mock
He got
fuck.
I gotta send you that video later. He got annihilated.
No, that's the way to put it. Mock fuck.
Dude, he got sent next day shipped. Like he came out of that thing like a
No, that was
fucking
same-day
bullet out of a
delivery.
barrel.
Mock.
I
That
don't
was
speak
same-
Swedish, but I know oh fuck in every language.
That's a universal word.
I may not know
I'm gonna
Swedish,
remember
but I
that one,
recognize
Mikey.
when somebody's trying to say "son of a bitch."
you use that where you please.
Mock fuck.
I'm gonna go mock
That's
fuck speak.
so good. All right.
But now we're all about the health and safety. We're not allowed to have. Oh, one of my favorite things: the wood chips, because it softens the fall. But we're not going to talk
Oh
about the
my
splinters
God.
everybody got.
No, I got some scars in unmentionable places because of that shit.
Oh, dude.
Sorry.
No, I'm reliving some fucking little scars right now. I'm feeling them right now. Oh,
And our scars remind us that the past is real.
Shut the fuck up. You're not gonna quote Papa Roach when I'm trying to close out. Damn it! Now
I
I'm
want to at least
stuck in
take
my head.
one
Son
of these
a fuck.
photos up, but which
Close
one's
us out. We're over time.
Yeah, we're over time. We were supposed to close out 15 minutes ago. All right,
we went down the rabbit hole.
Ladies and germs, it is outro time. Thank you, fellas, for joining me on this wonderful journey. Which, again, there's still so much more that we could talk about because, like, we went on a tangent about WWE. We could probably do another tangent about WWE. We might do another tangent about WWE because it was a big part of, like, the 90s. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. We're going to do more. Hopefully next time, if we do like a 2010 era, we can get Brandon or some other special guests to have their input. Because this was fun. I love talking about the past because it was so much fun and it was so different than it is now. And I'm always going to cherish that. But so thank you, Mikey, for joining me. Thank you, Mando and Fraser, for joining in when y'all did.
Yeah. No, this was a lot of fun.
Always a pleasure.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, just a heads up that down below, there's some buttons in the comment section. I highly suggest you do whatever you want to with them, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.